Step right up in the home, one of the unexplained mysteries of the universe. Is he man or beast?
A big Hollywood movie shoot that was shot here in Buffalo, now in theaters. Nightmare Alley stars Bradley Cooper, Cate Blanchett, and Rooney Mara. Directed by famed filmmaker Guillermo del Toro. The Oscar winner recently spoke to Yahoo about why he loved shooting here in the Queen City.
First of all, the life in Buffalo is fantastic in terms of the cultural scene, the food scene is fantastic. Two things that are very important for me. And in terms of cooperating with the film office, you cannot find a better film office in the world.
Whoa. Did you hear that? That was some very high praise, all for you right here.
Yes, man.
It was crazy.
Wow.
Joining us right now to talk about Nightmare Alley is Buffalo Niagara Film Commissioner Tim Clark. Tim,
it's
thanks
me.
for being here. Yeah, it's you, man of the hour.
I don't know about that, but it's always great to see you, Jordan, and you, Dave, in Channel 4 studios. It's legendary.
So talk to us about having this film filmed right here in Buffalo.
Yeah, it's a big deal. It's a big director. Guillermo del Toro is just such a leading guy in Hollywood right now, as far as directorial goes. And he and Kim Morgan wrote this movie and set it in Buffalo. This is the second movie he's set here, the first movie he shot here. And I have to tell you, it's a great movie. I saw it at the premiere a couple of weeks ago, and it's Oscar buzzing already.
Ooh.
Folks will see a lot, if they haven't seen it already, on the trailer. That is, that was a huge buy, by the way, because I'm seeing that every 5 minutes.
Yeah.
You see a lot of City Hall. You see a lot of scenes in Buffalo. We were talking a little bit about how Guillermo del Toro loves the architecture and all of that.
Yeah.
What is the attraction of downtown Buffalo or East Aurora or something like that? Western New York is so diverse.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think, and really, Don Postal's talked to Bill Fichtner about this last month on Channel 4 here to a really solid degree, and really explained it very well then. It's really about the tax credit that gets them into New York State, but then when they see Buffalo and they see all the architecture, when they see Niagara Falls and all the great architecture there and in Lockport and really the whole western region of New York, they fall in love with it, and we get a lot of repeat customers. I have a feeling Guillermo will be back to shoot more here because he just loved what he saw and loved how this city reacted to him.
Yeah, well, he was clearly raving about it there.
Yeah, well, he loves the people here too.
Hey, the people are great. As far as the actual filming went, you know, talking about that production, what are kind of the guidelines that you have, the production guidelines that you've in place, especially amid COVID?
Yeah, it's a little different now. Everybody wears masks and is tested every 2 to 3 days on the movie set now, and we really have to make sure that everybody is, you know, safe. Things like hair and makeup are done a lot differently now. The stars themselves or the actors themselves are not necessarily in the same dressing rooms or in the same makeup rooms, so there's a lot more distance between especially with the actors, because if an actor goes down for COVID, it puts a lot of people out of work for days.
Well, going back to Hamilton, look at one of the shows in New York City, they just had to cancel one night because of COVID. So
it happens.
It does.
It happens, yeah.
A lot of people working close together, certainly. There has been a tremendous amount of fanfare around this movie and its release. Like you mentioned, there's even some Oscar buzz already being talked about surrounding it as well. Guillermo del Toro might be back here, you said, to shoot again, maybe another movie, but he also could potentially be back having to do with this movie sometime next year?
Well, he's such a wonderful person and such a good guy that he said that he really wants to spend a little time with the people that helped make this movie in Buffalo, the Buffalo crew. So I presume and sort of predict that we may see him around February-ish, maybe a little earlier, but to do kind of a private cast and crew screening with the people who helped him make the movie from Buffalo. So I have a feeling there will be some, you know, some of that, and of course Channel 4, I'm sure will be there. Private invitation only, but you guys, I'm sure, will be on that list. And but yeah, I have a feeling you'll have the story here on Channel 4.
Let me ask you briefly, as we're closing out our time here, any updates on the production facility on Niagara Street? Where are we with that? When do we think that thing is really going to start getting up and running?
Well, there was just a story that ran in Deadline the other day, a famous Hollywood thing, and it referenced the Buffalo stage. They'll be starting construction extremely soon. There are some other stages that are out there too. This is going to be Hollywood of the East. I'm not kidding. It's really turned into something of great significance. This town.
Such great news for the area.
Yeah,
yeah, it really is. You know, I think the people of Buffalo deserve it. We've all gone through some really rough times, decades of, you know, the 80s and 90s, and I think now Hollywood has stumbled on us. This is great employment. This is great promotion for the area. I mean, Buffalo is scattered all over Hollywood and the silver screen and theaters coast to coast, and you just don't see that for many other cities. We have so much here, and your previous guest, Tim Thielman, is responsible for a lot of that, you know, preserving the history of this community, which is great to put onto film.
To say the least.
To say the least.
Tim, always a pleasure. Thank you so much for joining us.
Well, it's my privilege always to be with you, Jordan and Dave, and thank you for having me and inviting me on.
Excellent. Thanks, Tim. Well, next at 4, Christmas just